back again with a new video. This time something a little bit different. It's a VR slasher review of the movie Be Mine, written and produced by Eli Roth. But I've got a little bit of extra footage from Instagram that I wanted to share with you guys so we could track this in real time. Let's hear from the director about the process and just a little bit about how he did it all.
Hi, I'm Adam MacDonald, and I'm the director of the upcoming VR experience Be Mine on Horizon World. You know what? It's been one of the most challenging projects I've done, only because I've never done this kind of lens, which is very different from what I'm used to. But in terms of fun, absolutely. It's so great. So listen, if you're a fan of horror, this is something you can't miss. This is a new experience in VR. You've never seen horror like this, I promise you. Because this thing literally puts you in that scary place.
So those are pretty much his thoughts on the VR experience of Be Mine. But you guys might be wondering, what's the whole deal with the VR, right? Well, it's a little bit more of an immersive experience, I'd say. It also allows you to take in a little bit more of the minutia of the surroundings of what's going on screen. But for that, I do have something else I wanted to share with you guys. This is the creative director, Matt. So let's listen to him, see what he has to say about the whole creative process and how he helped Adam and the crew.
Hey, I'm Matt. I'm the creative director of Lightsail VR. So the reason we built this, because if you're directing and you're trying to create something, you gotta know how it's gonna feel. You have to know what it's gonna feel like in VR when you're creating it, and not spending days processing it in a lab, which is what we used to do. So. All right, so the way that we shoot VR is we use something called a circular fisheye, and this is what you're seeing right here. You're seeing basically the circular fisheye. It's 200 degrees edge to edge, 180 degrees top to bottom. We take that fisheye, we basically map it on the inside of the sphere. And so the system that Lightsail and I have built here, we take that, we put it right into our headsets, so that when we get inside VR, that's actually more about what we're seeing. We're seeing, you can move your headset around, as I'm doing here, right? Like, watching, taking a look at how everything's going to look for the scene. Take a look around. And that's more like how people experience this in a headset.
Okay, that was pretty interesting. So as you guys can see, there's a whole lot that went into making this. And personally, I think it's really cool. Anything that allows you to get a little bit closer to the action or to the horror in this case, I'm all for. VR sort of takes you one step closer. It really puts you in the atmosphere of everything that's going on. And honestly, I enjoyed it. I think you guys would too. So let's check out a little bit more footage before I get into the actual review. Yeah, here we have Peyton List. She's getting a blood splatter in the face. That looks pretty cool.
My favorite scene so far was filmed yesterday. I was on a date, and he got his eye shot through, and the blood exploded on my face. And I had to go home covered in blood.
All right, now let's take a look at the cast and see what they went through on set. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes footage. Here's some of just the cast themselves having a good time. I think the director's in there a bit too, but let's check it out. There's our lead, Becca. There's Morgan, her best friend. There's Dash, one of the Kappa brothers. There's the director having a bit of fun on set. Looks like they had a really good time shooting this. Good times. Okay, you guys just saw what it was like on set from the cast perspective. So let's hear a little bit from Eli before I jump into the review. And actually, in the middle of this footage, because I've been showing so much other stuff, I think I will just jump into my thoughts on the movie, and I'll let Eli talk a little bit.
Won't you be our Valentine on Valentine's Day? Won't you be mine, be ours? Check out our new short, Be Mine. It's creepy. I don't know what else.
I know, it's perfect.
That's it. That was good reel.
That was
That's
great.
great reel. How did I do?
You did
What
amazing.
was your direction? Hey, there was a little accident at the party.
Look what Eli did to me.
Now
Why
it
is
really
his mind
is.
so messed up?
Now it really is a bloody Valentine.
It really is a bloody Valentine. The only way to do it. The only way to celebrate.
Right. Won't you join us? PRs
Hours.
in Horizon World of MetaQuest TV.
Yeah, and Eli doing a bit of promotion pretty much there. So hopefully this does extend past March 1st. So right now the watch time is February 10th to March 1st. I can't see them releasing this on like a 2D format or anything. That would completely defeat the purpose of it being in VR. But hopefully they do release it, at least in terms of something that I can buy or just watch on a different setting within the VR at some point. I would like to continue to watch this movie. It is a really immersive experience overall, something that I haven't experienced before. Now, I haven't watched any VR movies. This was actually my first one, but I do think that there should be more stuff done in the format. I can really see it taking off and going a little bit further. Oh wow, she's checking out the experience. There's some practical makeup effects there. Let's see what else they say.
Oh, you can't even see it.
Hey, I'm going
You
to
don't have one? You don't have one?
using mine.
Oh, look, the detective's coming in. I'm waiting for my part. I can see everyone's shoes.
I know. Look up to the ceiling and everything.
Oh, wow.
See how crazy that is? It's like you're in the room with you guys. This take was so good.
It's a full 180. That is so cool. Did you look through this?
It's wild, right?
Guys, I cannot wait for you all to see this movie.
I'm here with Alana Ubak. Woo! My Valentine, and the girls in the Beta House. Check out our new short horror film, Be Mine. Yeah!
So yeah, you guys saw all the betas right there, the sorority house. Basically what you do have in this movie going on is a sorority house has a Valentine's Day party. They invite the Kappas over, and one of the Kappas is the character Dash. And he has a buddy named Tyler who's a really good marksman with archery. So they decide to give Becca a good time, and they want to show her that she can still have fun regardless of all the tragedy that she's faced in the past, and enjoy herself and just to go out and live free. That's kind of the sorority sisters theme. They don't want to deal with toxic masculinity, which is something they say. Their words, not mine. One thing that's cool too, you do have Becca carrying a gun. She has a conceal and carry license. All the other sorority sisters know about it, and it's kind of a funny in joke in the movie. There's also some really interesting opening shots where they use like a crane shot where you have a point of view shots of the killer. I wish there were a lot more of those. You see the killer walking around observing the sorority girls, spying on them, and it really does give it kind of a Halloween-esque feel. I wish there was a lot more of that. Now, I know this movie isn't that long, so we don't have a whole lot of time to do stuff like that, but I do really enjoy those moments. They're few and far between, but they are there. And there's some other things that I do like as far as the killer having a sort of signature weapon. I always like that. There's a lot of really cool practical gore effects as well. Some chopping off of the fingers, some arrow through the eye, through the neck, through the midsection, pretty much anywhere you can imagine. In the opening, you have her dealing with a death that is of the guy she's dating, and the Cupid mask wearing killer shows up and kills him. So from there on out, anytime she tries to date anyone else, the Cupid mask killer shows back up and he kills them. So she kind of has a stalker more or less, and throughout the film, you see that everyone else knows about it. It's not a secret, it's public knowledge. There are two detectives that are always seem to be close by, and actually it's funny, the female detective kind of looks like Anne Hathaway, but it's clearly not her. And so when they do have the party, the cops are there as well as the detectives. You have everybody trying to rally around Becca so she can have a good time. Her best friend Morgan is encouraging her constantly. You have to have a good time. You can't let this control your life. We're going to protect you. And so they have this big sorority house party with the Kappas, and the whole thing is all centered around Becca. But of course, the killer shows up, people start dying. There are a few red herrings in there. You do have like the creepy mailman guy is it him? One of the girls calls him a perv. You don't know if he's involved. Then you also have a guy in the library who's just sort of lurking around. Is it the nosy library guy? But it's pretty easy to figure out who the killer is if you're paying attention. There is a bit of a twist on that at the end, but I'm not going to spoil that. I'm not going to give anything away here. There's nothing but bloodshed once the killing does start. It is your typical slasher fare in that sense, but it's still really fun. And like I said earlier, the immersive experience that you do have with it is just great. I loved all the different aspects of the field of view. I do think that in the future, what they could do is do a 360 version of something like this instead of, I think this was 180. I could be wrong, but I think it's 180. Either way, it's still a really fun time and just in time for Valentine's Day. So if you guys do want to check this out, go to Horizon Worlds MetaQuest TV. This is brought to you by Crypt TV, not my review, just the movie itself. But yeah, you guys should check it out. On the way out, I'm going to let Eli take over, and let's see what he has to say.
We're having a Valentine's Day party. You're all invited. Won't you join my friends Anana, Adam, Peyton, Alana? Oh, one minor thing, it's going to get bloody. So join us in Horizon Worlds and MetaQuest TV. Won't you be mine?
That's it. Hope you guys like this review. Check it out if you guys have VR, and leave some comments below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.